My name is Christine Blair, and I recently graduated from the Schulich School of Business, and that was from the Masters of Real Estate and Infrastructure program. So I did take that. It was about a year, and it was definitely a great opportunity to learn more about the real estate world and get a taste for not only one aspect of real estate, but all aspects of real estate, whether it be the financial aspects, whether it be the marketing side, or whether it be just how people connect. So it was definitely awesome. And what I did was I took it actually through COVID. So it was completely online for me, which was definitely interesting. And I was shocked at how much I learned and how many friends I made and how many people I actually did connect with, even though it was online. So prior to that, I did do another master's at the Schulich School of Business in business management, the Masters of Management. And prior to that, I attended York University and I studied law and society there. So kind of jumped around in some different fields for a little bit, but found myself in real estate. So coming out of the undergraduate program at York that I was studying, I didn't feel necessarily ready or necessarily ready to join the workforce. I didn't really find exactly what I wanted to do. So I joined the Master's in Management program because I thought it would give me a good taste of consulting and sort of managing my own business. Through that program, I actually really noticed that I took a liking to real estate, and math never really was my strong suit, but I did learn some fundamentals that could really carry me far in the real estate world. So after I took that program, I actually became a real estate broker, and I was working at Colliers International in the industrial asset class, leasing and selling buildings with a team. And that's when I really was like, I think it's time to really advance my education in real estate, because I do think it's that competitive advantage that we're all looking for. As we all know, real estate's a very competitive market. So I think it really gives you that competitive edge and really unlocks the network. So through the Masters of Real Estate and Infrastructure, I found myself working at Pure Industrial, and I'm with a great team over here. I love it. We're right now the biggest landlord in Canada of industrial buildings, and we actually just hired another graduate actually of the Real Estate and Infrastructure program. So definitely unlocked a network that you really wouldn't have access to without some severe cold calling. While I was studying the program, I actually in the Masters of Management, I actually befriended a bunch of people from the Masters of Real Estate and Infrastructure program, and I became very close friends with them. I took a liking to what they were studying. I would kind of watch them do their assignments and sort of create study groups, even though I was in a different program. And I saw that there were so many different transferable skills from the Masters of Management program that I could really apply to a career in real estate. So that's what kind of sparked my interest. And a lot of my friends were like, well, we see you as a real estate agent. Why aren't you in real estate? And I was like, you know what? I never really thought of it. I always wanted to be more so a business consultant. But I guess as either a real estate broker, more of a real estate landlord or real estate manager, you're essentially doing the same. It's essentially the same nature of the business. You're still consulting people, whether it be on the residential side, your clients, or whether it be on the more so the landlord management side, where you're advising your upper asset management teams or within your own team what the best steps to move forward and either close this deal are. So I saw a lot of similarities, and it was through COVID where I was like, I have the opportunity right now. I mean, why not? What's stopping me? Really nothing. So that's why I just decided to jump on board, and I'm definitely glad that I did. Schulich definitely unlocked a network of individuals that exposed me to different avenues of real estate, and some of the transferable skills that I learned were definitely from their backgrounds. So them sharing their stories, them sharing where they have made mistakes or where they've either excelled, definitely helped me hone in a more confident approach to networking, because that's all that real estate really is for me. If it wasn't for the network that I've grown and a network that I've been introduced to, I really wouldn't be here today. But as for the transferable skills, I would say just the fundamentals of math, fundamentals of accounting, of finance, things that you necessarily wouldn't learn in maybe perhaps a liberal arts undergrad. So these are skills that really help introduce you into the workplace. And then when you enter the workplace, you see it in more so of a practical manner. And that manner definitely helps hone your career and really practice those skills and really put into perspective what you've learned the entire time. So I hope I'm making sense. Sorry, I hope I didn't go off on a tangent there. So for me, I definitely think it's the community that Schulich cultivates. We have such a strong alumni network. Many of my best friends are from the program, definitely made lifelong friendships. It's more than just an education. It's definitely a place where you build these relationships with other people. And I mean, these are people who I know are going to be like lifelong friends. It's been many years since I've actually graduated, since the Master's of Management program. And I talk to these people, maybe not daily, but I mean, I go on vacations with them sometimes and we hang out. They're just really close friends of mine. And further to that point, you're always going to bump into someone from the Schulich network, really wherever you are, because it's such a global brand. So it's that one icebreaker, I'd say, that like, oh, you went to Schulich? Oh, I did too. And then you carry on a conversation about your experience and, oh, did you have this professor? Or how about this event? Were you there? Or are you going here? There's so many different avenues that this brand allows you to take that you really need to take advantage of, because it's not only the education, it's the people, but it's also the brand, and it carries a lot of weight in multiple different industries. So they have a great career development center. So that's where you're able to talk to different counselors and they're able to help guide you if you're unsure, because a lot of common times people who are just coming out of their undergrad, or even really their postgraduate, they still might not have a solid sense or direction, or at least that was my experience. I didn't exactly know where I wanted to go, but definitely speaking with different professors about their experiences and learning from even my peers. I'd be like, oh, wow, you just got a job at X, Y, and Z. Wow, that's great. What do you think about it? How do you like it? So I've definitely learned from not only my professors, but also my peers. And that's something that it's invaluable. Like, you can't put a price on that. Personally, I think it's exposed me to so many different just types of people, like different cultures, because Schulich's so global. Like, one of my best friends, she started out in med school in Dubai, and then she ended up at Schulich, and it's just so global. You meet so many different people and you really learn from their backgrounds. But I think for me, it definitely gave me the confidence and that competitive advantage. It's a foot in the door. It's something that it's a talking point. It's just so much more than an education. Like, I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I never was one to strive to get A's or A pluses. That's not what school's about to me personally. It was the connections that I made. It was the learning that I did, but more importantly, it wasn't the grades that I got. It was the mistakes and failures that I went through those programs, where I actually was like, okay, now I need to reset and I need to look at this. This is something that I need to improve on. If you're getting A's and A pluses and everything, like, there's really no point. You really need to work on items, and I may have not been the brightest crayon in the box, but it's one of those things where if you make the right connections, if you work really, really hard, it will pay off. I think that it's never too soon to start. This is a great opportunity if you're even thinking of joining. I mean, even if, I always say, if you're interested, go for it. But obviously, like with COVID and with everything, there might be some restraints or some hesitation, but just attend the Schulich calls, go to an event, see what we're all about. Feel free to reach out to myself, and feel free to communicate my contact details. But There's no time like today. I mean, if you're not going to do it now, don't wait 5-10 years. Will you do it in 5-10 years? Who knows where you'll be? But if you have this behind your belt, it's one of those things where you just never know where you'll go. And don't be afraid. Like, it's very intimidating to be in a room of people who are maybe PhDs, doctor levels, like just so experienced. But I promise you, there's really no egos in Schulich. Everyone is ready and willing to give you a helping hand, and the network, it's wonderful. There's really not, I can't stress that enough.